Welcome to Tap the Craft, the podcast where we help you drink craft beer with a little more knowledge and a lot more appreciation. I'm Denny Luce, coming to you from Boise, Idaho.
And I'm Chris McKenzie, joining you from sunny Tampa, Florida. Whether you're a home brewer, a hophead, or someone who's just curious about what makes great beer taste the way that it does, we're glad you're here.
This week, we're taking a closer look at the hottest topics in modern hop-forward brewing, terpenes. These tiny aromatic compounds are responsible for many of the citrus, tropical fruit, pine, floral, and resinous notes we love in today's IPAs and pale ales.
We'll talk about what terpenes actually are, how brewers preserve or even enhance them during the brewing process, why timing is everything when adding them, and how they interact with hops, yeast, malt, and water chemistry to create some incredible aromas.
Yeah. So that's our topic. That's our main topic. We're also going to do a Beer Speak 101 segment.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
little uh, it's a little diverse, I
yeah,
guess. It's a
yeah.
lot of littles if you want to look
It's
at
a
it that
it's a
way.
lot of little things. Yeah, it's basically containers. What kind of containers can beer be put in that have different names that you may be confused when you hear them called? So why not talk about beer containers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris and I are going to be doing a couple tastings too from some beers that were provided to us. One from Batman Dan, and one from our good friends at Pontoon Brewing. One of the Smiggles beers, which we'll be getting to here real soon. The Which one did I pick?
Well, I
The
don't
Smiggles
know
Show.
because so Denny, I think Denny was trying to kill us this evening. We are it's currently what, Monday, January what, 6th, right?
Six, yeah.
So most of us have had some sort of an extended weekend that usually, at least in my group of friends, includes heavier drinking
A few
for an extended
beers. Yeah,
weekend,
yeah.
right?
I'll
Um,
admit I drank maybe more beer than I usually do this
I
weekend.
I also did. And I checked the outline for the show tonight so I can go to the fridge and gather my beers, and he's got one pontoon beer on there. I'm like, okay, cool. And we've got one of Batman Dan's beers that he sent to us, and then we've got a third beer from Pontoon. And I pull them out of the fridge and I look at them and I go, wow, this one from Dan is 12%. Well,
Yeah,
okay. This other one from Pontoon, oh, that's only 5%, so no big deal. This other one from Pontoon, it's 10%.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
texted Denny and I was like, listen, uh, I appreciate that you're getting ballsy today, but I'm gonna request
That we not
an
we not.
amendment to
I just
the.
thought that we'd had a pretty good pre-funk going on for the weekend, and we were just gonna carry it right into
Oh
Monday.
man, no. So listen, between you and me and all the people on live with us, and they're probably going to hear this, we went out and had some fun yesterday. Tina
Yeah.
is just about back to normal now.
Oh wow, that
Yeah,
was a good
she
time.
rocked hard yesterday. Um, so I'm happy to just we'll take it semi easy tonight.
Okay. Okay,
But
yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I'll take it easy on you, Chris.
I
We'll just have
appreciate that.
the two tastings tonight. We'll save the super sour Smiggles Ultimate or whatever that thing is, that 10% Smiggles. We'll save that one for another time.
Yeah, like I told you, I'll be the baby tonight. I'll be the gentleman and just tap out.
All right, no problem. All right, well, Chris, let's get this show rolling. But before we get too far in, we always want to let anyone new listening to the show know what Tap to Craft Podcast is all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you are listening to episode 312. This is the last episode of season 12. Yes, we're finishing up 12
Yeah.
years of the podcast. Incredible. And we are
Hmm.
recording this on Monday, July 6th, 2026. And we are also streaming this live on Facebook. If you would like to join us on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time, you can watch us do this live. See all the bloopers, see the stuff behind the scenes that's not edited out. We'd love for you to join during our recording. And Chris, now let's get this conversation started by getting some beer in our gut.
Yeah,
So,
I've been thirsty.
yeah,
Um,
me too. Me
but
too.
like you
So,
mentioned, folks just hopping on with us. Jesse's on, so it looks like they did some fireworks and beers, which what she said. And then Matt Jung with Barkyard Brewing. Good to see you guys. Thank you for hopping on with us.
nice. All right, so we're going to do the Pontoon Brewing, the Smiggles Show.
Yeah.
a smoothie sour at 5% ABV. We're going light. We're going to go
We're
light with it.
starting, yeah, we're starting gently.
But again, it's a nice, thin, slim cans, 12 ounces in the can.
Remember, oh, did you,
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't do that.
okay.
I screwed up again.
That's okay.
I'll just pour hard. I'll pull heavy.
There you go. That's fine. Oh, it looks like fruit juice. And
Heavy pour. Look at that. Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I saw it
Shake
come
it
out
all
of
in
the
there.
bottom.
Shake it in there. Oh baby.
Come on,
Ooh,
Denny. It's not that
smells
kind of
good.
show yet.
Smells good.
Yet.
Okay. So this is cherry, strawberry, red candy, marshmallow, cacao, cherry, and strawberry terpenes are in this as well.
God,
And
it
so
smells so good.
yeah, it does smell good. It smells very cherry. There's a lot of cherry going on in this.
And
And red
strawberry,
candy.
and
It kind of smells like
it smells like strawberry
almost like red-
shortcake.
yeah, strawberry shortcake. It even looks like strawberry shortcake a bit, doesn't it?
But Trent Fleener just hopped on with us too.
Oh, Trent.
Mr.
Nice.
Mohead y'all himself.
Oh, head y'all.
But this, oh my gosh, this I can't get over how good this beer smells. I bet it tastes just as good.
Wow, it's pretty smooth.
It
It doesn't
tastes
say
like
it has
strawberry
It
shortcake.
doesn't say it has lactose in it, but I almost feel like something's mellowing out that
The ca-
tartness a lot.
the cacao.
Maybe. Wow, it tastes like strawberry. I think those strawberry terpenes, man, they're lighting up this beer. Cherry, it's like a cherry strawberry
It really is.
wonder
It's almost like biting into a
playground.
piece of fruit.
Yeah. It does smell. Now, when you smell the aroma, it almost smells like you're gonna get some of that ripe, like super ultra ripe fermented fruit in it, right? And it's gonna be tart. But reality, this thing is super smooth.
Yeah.
I don't get any tartness at all in this thing.
I I'm these Smiggles beers, at least the last one that we had, and then now this one. Like this is gonna be gone in 4 or 5 minutes. Like this is
Yeah, I
so
know.
easy to
I
drink.
might have to go back down and get that other Smiggles beer, huh, Chris?
I'll go get like a 5% something.
Yeah, this is gonna be gone before we even get done with the tasting. Yeah, I can kind of taste everything that they say in here. 100% cherry, 100% strawberry. Marshmallow is maybe the marshmallow in there is kind of mellowing it out too. You get that marshmallowy kind of sweetness in there, but
Yeah.
not too sweet. And then the cacao, I don't know. I don't really taste. Maybe that's the one thing I'm not getting, but maybe I'll get more when I
I
drink a
think
little bit more.
well, I think you are, you just don't notice it. Because
Mm.
I notice what I feel would be the cacao because it
Mm.
is
Yeah, you're right. It
there's a
does
little
kind of
bit of
come out.
earthiness in there.
Yeah, it gives a little bit of the up at the top of your mouth. You get waves of a little bit of that yeah, earthiness. Almost chocolate, unsweetened chocolate.
But I think that's what stops it from being super sweet and just way
Yeah,
too hard to drink. I think that's a big help to this beer.
yeah. I'm a big fan of these Smiggles beers. I never really was I never thought myself of a big like pastry smoothie sour guy. These are done just right because
Yeah.
it's not too heavy. That's the other thing is look, you can actually see that this thing is not a heavy beer. It's just a beer with some stuff in there, and it's super easy to drink. It's not sticky,
Mm-mm.
it's not cloying, and it's not too tart, which is good because we were going to do that other one that was a super sour. I was worried we'd have two beers that were tart and it might upset my stomach. But man,
Yeah,
this thing is super easy.
because that other one that might be a little tough to do because it's a lot of the same ideas just based around like Skittles.
Candies, yeah, it's got a lot of sour candies in it and stuff, I think. Okay. Uh, oh gosh, I just forgot Tyler. Oh my gosh, I just totally forgot Tyler for a second. My mind went blank. But Tyler, fantastic job, buddy. You nailed this one too. You nailed the last one. Was incredible. This one's super easy drinking. Um, yeah, you're making me a fan of smoothie sours right now, or pastry
Excuse
sour.
me. Yeah.
Anything else, Chris?
I mean, I think we touched on a little bit of all of it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's savor this into the rest of the beginning of the show here, and not drink it too fast. But now that Chris and I got some beer in us, we would love to thank all of our Patreon supporters, because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kudzel, and Alex Fuchs. These are all of our virtual producers. And we have Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Charlie Moss, Mark Church, Eric Groundley, and Batman Dan. They all want to buy us a virtual beer. And you can be just like Peter Tim, who wants to toast his host. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/taptocraft. All right, let's get into our Beer Speak 101 topic. And this is where we briefly define common and not so common beer terminology. And as we already mentioned, this episode, we're going to talk about the slang terms for beer packaging sizes or bottles and
Packaging sizes.
Sizes. I said sizes, but
Canisters,
packaging.
beer
Containers.
canisters.
Yeah, canisters, containers, vessels, fluid vessels, liquid vessels, whatever it might be. So when hanging around breweries or bottle shops, you'll hear plenty of slang used to describe different beer package sizes. Some of these names are official industry terms, while others are simply nicknames that have become part of the craft beer culture. Here's a quick guide to some of the most common ones that you'll hear. Now, this one's a little bit, it's becoming, almost...
I'm proud of you for trying this, even though you had such a rough day.
It's... This first one is one is slowly disappearing off the shelves, but it's called a bomber. And a bomber is a 22-ounce glass bottle. And for many years, bombers were the standard format for limited releases, barrel-aged beers, and specialty brews. Yeah. While they become less common as breweries have shifted towards cans and 16-ounce bottles, you'll still find bombers for certain premium beers. And just a little fun fact here, the name bomber doesn't have an official origin, but most believe it simply refers to the bottle's larger size compared to the standard 12-ounce bottle. So, Chris,
I thought there had to be something.
Yeah, it's just it's a bomber. It's gonna, it's a
I mean, the last bomber I had, I was pretty bombed.
Yeah. So this term, Chris, the one you're gonna read, I don't know this term.
Neither did I.
Yeah. So this is a less common term. So what is this less common term?
So this less common term is a cottle, C-O-T-T-L-E. So a cottle is less common today and refers to a 750 milliliter bottle that's capped with a crown cap instead of a cork and cage. So it's not going to be like what you'd find on a champagne bottle. It's going to be just a regular bottle cap. And it just combines the word cap and bottle.
There we go.
So would that then mean that most bombers are cottles then?
No, because it's not a 750. It's 750 is 26 ounce or 25 ounce bottle.
Okay.
That's the 22 ounce bottle is 650.
Yep. The more you know. Okay.
Yeah, the more you know.
But many saisons, mixed fermentation beers, and barrel-aged beers are packaged this way because brewers can use standard bottling equipment while still offering an elegant presentation.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, nice. Denny, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. This next term is one that has become very popular in the last 5 to 7 years. And it's the crowler. So a crowler is a 32-ounce aluminum can that is filled and sealed on demand at a brewery or tap room. Unlike a growler, it's single-use and completely sealed, making it more resistant to oxygen and light. Fun fact, the term crowler was originally trademarked by the company that developed the can sealing system, but today it's commonly used throughout the craft beer industry. So yeah, crowlers are those 32-ounce cans, and we're going to talk about the growler here in a second, but what's nice is it's basically the equivalent of 2 beers, right? 2 pints. Mm-hmm. And most people can open this thing up and drink it in one sitting, 2 pints, and then be satisfied. Unlike the next term that Chris is going to talk about.
Yeah, the growler. And a lot of people have heard of this one as well, but it's kind of faded out for a number of reasons that the crowler basically fixes issues on.
Yeah.
But a growler is a refillable container, most commonly 64 ounces. Although there are 32-ounce variations too, or
Mm-hmm.
versions, are popular as well. And growlers allow customers to take draft beer home directly from the tap. And did you know the name dates back to the late 1800s when beer was carried home in metal pails? As carbon dioxide escaped, the lid would rattle, creating a growling sound.
Yeah. So we actually early in the
Oh,
show, like in the first season, maybe the third episode. I can't. It's a while ago. It was a while ago.
yeah.
Maybe 12 years ago, we actually did an episode on growlers and the origin. Um, I might need to find that and pull out this segment and post it somewhere because now you can only find those early episodes on our website because
Yeah.
that's not an RSS feed anymore. But yeah, we actually talk about that whole origin history of the growler and one of my favorite breweries in Idaho, Grand Teton Brewing, they actually were the first ones to come up with the glass container
Ah,
for the growler and the jug, the milk jug type, or not milk jug. I guess it's like a whiskey jug or
yeah,
something,
it's kind of
a
like
glass jug.
it's like a hooch bottle.
Yeah, yeah. So as we mentioned, what growlers were like when I was first dabbling in craft beer, you couldn't find beers in the grocery stores. You had to go to the source, and
Yep.
you couldn't take the beers home easily because they didn't can anything. They just served it at the source, or you had to get it at a bar that was had a keg. And so early on, we were all forced to use these big giant glass growlers to take beer back if we wanted to have more of it. The
Hmm.
problem is that seal, once you crack that seal, the CO2 would escape and the beer would go flat pretty quickly. So you pretty much, and even if you didn't, you couldn't store it for like a week.
Couple
Um,
days if you were
yeah, a
lucky.
couple of days you can store it before even releasing the lid the first time, and you still be pretty good. But usually it meant you drank it the next day at if you could, and you had to drink all 64 ounces at one time, or the beer would be flat because as you remove the fluid and liquid out of that container, it's filling with oxygen.
Yep.
And guess what? All your carbonization is going into that void, and then you lift the lid, it's all leaving, and your beer goes flat very quickly. Um, there's a story that I think I've told on the show before, but I have in fact, it's right behind me here. I have a metal hydro flask, 64 inch or 64 inch. That's what she said. 64-ounce hydro flask growler I got from Timbero when Timbero was independent way back when, and that's how I was getting Timbero beers
Hmm.
back home. It was filling this thing up, and one of the beers that I decided that I wanted to have for Super Bowl or football, it might have just been football with my son, was a imperial golden ale. Now that's a style you don't hear very often. It was a 12% golden ale in a 64-ounce growler that literally you had to drink right away, or so my goal was to drink that during the game. My
Oof.
son's not a big drinker, but I poured him one glass. I drank two glasses, quickly took a nap during the game, woke up, and then drank my last glass
Oh my
because the
gosh.
alcohol content was so high that I literally, took a nap right in the middle of the game because that
Had to
golden ale was a
sleep it
bit,
off.
yeah, it was a bit strong. So recommend don't get 12% beers in a growler if you can.
Yeah. Well, Trent Fleener just said a lot of breweries now will do a two-pack of 12 or 16 ounces instead of bombers, which is definitely nice. So you don't have to commit to the whole thing, but bombers are great for the social gatherings or
Yeah,
sharing,
yeah,
or, like me, I did a whole 10, 11, 12% one the other day myself because I'm an idiot, but it was fun.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love that they are definitely making them in smaller servings, if you want to look at it that way. But
Well,
so,
yeah. Well, I was talking about smaller servings.
well, I was also going to say too, like, what do you have you filled a growler? Yeah, I
No,
mean,
no.
my very
I've
first
got
one.
growlers all right here behind me that are just
Yeah.
sitting there because I'll just get a growler
Yep.
and so I've kind of using my like I'm using my stainless steel growler. Well, now it's up here. I was using it for putting cold liquid in, um, to take out camping or whatever. But now
Yeah.
it's just sitting back here because I don't really have a use for it anymore.
Yeah, I put my loose change in my I have one of each now because I got rid of all my extra ones. My very first growler that I ever filled up was from Thirsty Dog Brewing in Akron, Ohio, and it now sits next to my bed full of loose change.
Yeah, yeah. I got rid of one of my first ones that I had was from Sockeye Brewing here in town. Because here's what happens, right? You'd go to a brewery, you forget to bring your growler with
Yep.
you, and you wanted to bring beer back home because it was something special, and you buy another growler.
Yep.
Luckily, they only charge you like $2.50 for the glass container. But I end up collecting a bunch of these damn
Mhm.
sockeye growlers because I would forget to bring mine with me. I tossed them. I think I tossed them early in the spring this year. I found in my garage in a box. I'm like, why do I have these damn growlers? I'm not going to use them ever again. So I just
Recycled them.
recycled them.
Attaboy.
I recycled them. Okay, let's go down in size a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go to the stovepipe. And this
Yeah.
is fairly new also. Within the last 5 years, I think it's become popular. And a stovepipe is a 19.2 ounce can. These tall single serving cans become extremely popular for IPAs, lagers, and convenience store sales because they offer a generous pour for an affordable price. And that's the key right there. Oh, burping up this sour is I think the price per ounce is like the best at this
Yeah,
19.2
it
ounce
really
can
is.
because you're getting this can for like $5 and if it's a double IPA or triple IPA, you're getting a lot of alcohol too in one single serving for a really good price. So, like they said, convenience stores, they all have them.
Yeah.
In the grocery stores, in their can section, they have at least one or two shelves in their single serve thing that are all stovepipe cans because it's convenient for the guy that wants to come through the store after work, grab it, hopefully not drink it on the way home
Yeah.
in his monster truck as he's going home or whatever. But I see a lot of that action going on.
Yeah. But what weirded me, well, not weirded me out, but always makes me kind of think is remember I was telling you we went and watched the fireworks
Hmm.
this 4th, and across the street was a gas station. So I was like, well, we didn't bring any beers or anything, so I ran
Yeah.
across the street and grabbed a beer for Tina and I, and she wanted freaking Smirnoff Ice just because she was like, I haven't had one in a while. See what's over there. And they had a freaking rocket pop one or bomb pop one. I was
Oh,
like, all right, I'll get you that
okay.
one. And man, all the other beers, they had like the Budweisers and Modelo's and Corona and all that stuff over there too, in those stovepipe cans. But then there was a lot of IPAs over there.
Hmm.
Florida
Yeah.
Man from Cigar
Oh,
City.
yeah.
They had Reef Donkey over there, but it was in the regular 16-ounce cans. That's what I ended up grabbing. But
Nice.
like IPAs in a gas station, like that doesn't really fit the demographic too well.
You'll be amazed.
You're right,
Um,
and I shouldn't
I,
assume.
Yeah, I see people come in there and grab those torpedo cans
Yeah,
that you wouldn't think would be drinking torpedo, but again, they want they're looking for the highest alcohol
maybe.
in a single, get that buzz going for the before they get back home and drink all their, Coors Light.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Stubby. Let's talk about the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stubby is a short, squat glass bottle, typically around 11 to 12 ounces. They're especially well known in Canada, Australia, and parts of Europe. If you got a red stripe around there somewhere.
No, but I have
Oh
kind of
no.
this
Yeah, I
is a
remember that
big
one.
stubby. Yeah, this is
Yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, those red stripe beers or
oh, look, I even have a
Coors.
Belgian beer kind of in a
Yeah,
stubby.
is that Le Chouffe?
Le
But
Chouffe.
or Coors Banquet. makes the
Yeah,
stubby ones
yeah,
too.
that was the original, I think.
Um,
Well, that and yeah, Red Stripe. That um, I don't know. Is Mickey's Big Mouth considered? That's a different glass, isn't
yeah, I
it?
mean, I think that's probably in the 11 to 12 ounce one
Yeah.
range too.
Okay.
But the a few American breweries obviously have used them over the years too. So their compact shape, Trent Fleener said, let's start a trend and do smoothie sours and stovepipes. This
Yeah,
5%
that
one?
no, the ten
Sure.
percent one. We got to do the 10% one.
Yeah. Oh my
Super sour.
gosh. Anyway, their compact shape makes them durable and easy to package. Denny, you get to read your own can name.
The tall boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a tall boy is the familiar 16-ounce can found throughout the craft beer world. Today, it's arguably the signature package of modern craft beer, offering enough volume for hop-forward beers while remaining easy to transport and chill. Fun fact, before craft beer embraced the format, tall boys were mostly associated with large domestic lagers. Craft breweries helped transform the tall boy into the industry's most popular package size. So go grab that tall boy and enjoy. All right, Kris, how about you wrap up this topic?
Yeah, most definitely. Eric Gronley just hopped on too. He said, cheers from Teddy's soccer match. Go, Teddy!
Go, Teddy!
While the beer inside is what
Wait,
really
he's playing
matters.
for USA?
Yeah. The beer inside is really what matters. These packaging terms have become part of the language of craft beer. Knowing the difference between a bomber, crowler, growler, stovepipe, stubby, tallboy, or even the lesser known coddle makes it a little easier to navigate tap rooms, bottle shops, and brewery conversations.
Yeah. So there you go. That is just some of the packaging options. I mean, there's more. I didn't want this Beer Speak 101 topic to go too crazy, so I kept it to just ones I thought were pertinent. All right, Kris, did you finish that smoothie sour
I
yet?
did. I timed it just perfectly.
Okay. Are you ready for some Martin House Brewing's Death by Chocolate
Death
Cake?
by chocolate cake. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so the can looks deadly.
Probably gonna die.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Martin House Brewing out of Fort Worth, Texas. And this was a gift to Kris and I from Batman Dan. And I've never had this beer.
Me
And
either.
it sounds fantastic. It is an imperial stout with lactose and chocolate cake and vanilla cream flavors, coming in at 12%. So we're gonna get ripped tonight as we open up this nice 12. The good news is it's only 12 ounces. And my whole
Ooh.
thing for going with the 5, the 12, and then back down to the 10, which was the original plan, was that we're doing a parabola, right? Everything's better when you peak mid and then come back down. And
You're tapering off at
tapering off,
10%.
you're tapering it back down. You're bringing it back down for an easy night's sleep. Uh, it all works out. It all works out.
That just
Okay,
means I'm going to
so
be waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
ooh, this is decadent, rich fudge
Hmm.
cream, fudge chocolate,
It's very fudgy smelling.
fudgy. Yeah, it's very fudgy. Wow, it's like
Very
liquid
fudgy.
fudge. All right. So looking at the coloring, it's super dark. I cannot see any light through this. This is
No.
very dark. I poured soft. It might have a head, but the beer is not
Mm.
super thick. So if you see me, move this around, it's got a little bit of, you know, I won't say legs, but some stuff. It
Eh.
doesn't hold up. It's pretty thin. It looks like it's not going to be a thick beast. No motor oil here. Um, an aroma, like we mentioned, fudge, like
Fudge.
rich fudge. That's
Mm.
what it smells like. I can't smell anything else but fudge and maybe some chocolate frosting. Maybe some fudge. Maybe it's fudge frosting that I'm smelling in there. Maybe that vanilla cream is making it pretend it's like fudge frosting. All right, well, let's take a sip of this, Kris, and see if this tastes just like chocolate cake.
Boozy chocolate cake.
It is boozy. Whoa, way more. But you know what? Uh, yeah, it is a bit. Maybe I need. I don't. Maybe we need to
Time to
drink this before it gets too warm.
time to break
I
time to
don't.
break out the thermometers.
I don't know. Wow, this has got a kick to it. I'm gonna say that it doesn't hide the alcohol. I can believe it's 12% because you taste it in this.
Yeah.
Um, so now let me. Besides the booziness, that's the one negative thing I have to say. It definitely is coming across boozy, but you do get like fudge frosting flavor, and it lingers like it kind of has flavor that comes up from the back of your throat to the top of your mouth and gives you almost like a chocolate pudding character in there too. So it's like a combination of fudge, frosting, and pudding, like all put together in this flavor. It's really kind of an interesting layered
Yeah.
effect of chocolate. There's a lot of different chocolate flavors coming out in here. It is lighter bodied, not heavy and thick. Like we can see by looking at it, it's definitely not that thick. Good flavor. I mean, I love the chocolate. Death by Chocolate is a good name for it because you get so much chocolate out of here. But man, that booze, that booze hit me that first sip hit me for a
It
little
was
wallop
it,
there.
it was like it was kind of like having a sip of like whiskey out of just a you know. So Jesse said, "Careful, guys. Dan drank it too fast, and he also drank it at room temperature. So mine's currently sitting at about 50 degrees last I checked.
So,
Yeah,
so I will
50.
say the second sip is not. It's just that initial sip catches you off guard, and once your mouth gets adjusted to the amount of alcohol in
You
it,
mean numb to it?
yeah. So mine's at 47. Mine's still a bit cold. I need mine to warm up a little bit. I need to get it to about 53 to 56. I think will be good. So I'm gonna let mine warm. Um, but wow, great flavor in this thing. And right now, I'm only gonna say that the initial booziness comes across in that first sip. I didn't feel it as bad on the second sip, so we'll see how it goes when it warms up a bit more. What do you think, Chris? What's your positives and negatives about this
So the
beer?
positives, there are definitely many different types of chocolate flavors in this, right? There's
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you get the smell of that fudge chocolate icing. But then there's also when you taste it, you get like it's like you have a brownie, but there's more
yeah,
cocoa powder. It's a
yeah. Cocoa
little,
powder. Yeah, a lot of
um,
cocoa. Yeah,
and it's chocolate all the way around,
yeah,
but then it's a little hot. Like especially that first sip was like I said, just having a sip of a spirit
yeah,
neat right out of a glass. Like it was like, oh, there's vodka in this.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. For sure, vodka. I would say vodka is a good one because it doesn't give you. Yeah, it's giving you just the heat of the alcohol in there. Um, And it does kind of stick, even with my third sip now, you still feel it in the back. Like when you breathe in, you can feel the alcohol
mhm.
in your throat. So it's
Clears your
still there.
sinuses.
It's but you're right. It's the different layers of chocolate that's amazing that they did that, and it just kind of like it just coats you like I'm getting senses of chocolate through my roof of my mouth, from throat to tongue. It's just changing, and like I said, I get pudding, I get that cocoa powder, I get fudge, I get fudge icing, like fudge frosting. Yeah, I get a lot of different chocolate flavors, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge chocolate fan. I do love, if I do eat chocolate, it's going to be a darker chocolate. This
You
meets my
no,
need
you got to
for.
specify. You eat dark chocolate like
I do.
90% and
Yeah,
higher.
yeah, yeah. That's why I said I
To,
like dark chocolate.
to me, dark chocolate is 60 to like 80%. You're
I
like,
thought
nah, let's
I
get
like
some.
it. I like it strong. I like 90. Yeah. Honestly though, I think like 85 is like for most dark chocolate is just right. 90 has to be the right chocolate with and usually when I go to 90 and above, it's gonna have to have some mint or some coconut or something in there that helps mellow out some of the bitterness. I love bitter stuff. Once you get above to 90 and above, you have to have something that helps with the bitterness because it can be a bit overwhelming. But yeah, you're right, Chris. I love I love high percentage dark chocolate. That's what
Yeah.
I prefer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dan, thank you very much. And if it was Jesse that helped with this beer too, thank you, Jesse, too. But thank you both.
Yes.
This beer is a great experience. I've heard about this beer in the past, and I was I think we talked about it on the show a couple times when we did our Valentine Day, beers to drink on Valentine's Day and
This would
different
be a
things.
good one.
Yeah, we've talked about a few of them,
This will
and
definitely get you a Valentine.
yeah, and this beer is good. But I think Chris and I are going to sip on this while we do the brew buzz. Um, but
You
yeah,
mean
if you
yours
can
yours isn't almost gone?
is yours almost
I
you
didn't
did
pour
not
the
drink
whole
all that.
thing. I still got a
You
half a
still have
can
some of
left.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
mine's all in my glass. Mine's
I
half
know.
gone now. I did drink. I've had 4 sips now,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit more while we finish up. But
Jesse said
yeah.
I had nothing to do with that one. I think chocolate beer is gross.
Oh, come on. Chocolate beer is great.
She's picky.
I've
I
got
get it.
this can back here behind my little, save water, drink beer sign.
Yeah.
It's sexual
Sexual
chocolate.
chocolate from Weldworks, right?
No, it's from. Is it
Pipeworks,
from?
Weldworks. I swear it was Weldworks.
I don't want to disturb all my stuff, but is it Wildward? I thought it was.
It's one of the works. Pipeworks. I have one more beer from them when I went to Colorado.
Oh, well, if you got it from Colorado, it probably is WeldWorks then. Yeah, sexual chocolate. Good.
That's my
Okay.
nickname.
All right. Oh, I'm burping up the beer. All right,
Oh,
let's
Matt
get into.
Griffo just hopped on too. Hi, buddy. Sorry.
Hey, oh, Foothills. Yes. See, he
Foothills.
nailed it. Foothills. It's Foothills. Yeah, I thought it was on the East Coast. Um, it's in North Carolina. Where's Foothills from, Matt? Is it
Oh,
North Carolina?
I'm getting there, but he'll probably beat me to it.
He'll beat you. Yeah, man. Matt
Hang
Matt is in the
on.
know. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the brew buzz, and the brew buzz is devoted to discussing various beer
North
topics.
Carolina.
This episode we're going to learn about hop terpenes, and we've heard the term terpenes used in our recent beer tastings. You may have also heard brewers, hop growers, or beer judges talking about them, but what exactly are they? Terpenes are naturally occurring aromatic compounds found in many plants, including hops. They're responsible for many of the distinctive aromas and flavors we associate with different hop varieties. Think citrus, pine, floral notes, tropical fruit, herbs, spice, and even resinous characteristics. While hops contain hundreds of different compounds, terpenes are among the biggest contributors to a beer's hop aroma. So, Chris, why do they matter in craft beer?
Well, Denny, here's why they matter in craft beer as I pour the rest of this death by chocolate in my glass. And as it's warming up, it's definitely changing um, as I'm drinking it. Hop character is going to be a part of it. So different hop varieties contain different terpene profiles. That's why a beer brewed with Citra tastes very different from one brewed with Simcoe or Sots.
Right, for sure.
Sorry, I didn't want to cough in the microphone there. Aroma over bitterness. The terpenes are going to contribute primarily to aroma and flavor rather than bitterness. The bitterness from your hops are going to come mainly from alpha acids, while terpenes create the aromas you smell before you take your first sip. Um, Brewing techniques matter. Yeah, always does. Many of your terpenes are highly volatile, meaning they can evaporate during a long boil.
Mm.
Check out our previous episode about no boil
No boil.
IPAs.
Exactly.
Brewers preserve more of these compounds by adding hops late in the boil during whirlpool additions or through dry hopping. And freshness is gonna count, damn it.
Mm.
Freshness, freshness, freshness. Terpenes slowly break down over time, which is one reason fresh IPAs often have brighter, more vibrant hop aromas than old ones.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're gonna make me pronounce stuff today.
Yeah. We've talked about these in the past when we talked about different hops, but it's good to to regroup and say it again here.
Okay. Well, a few common terpenes that you're going to find. First one on the list is myrcene, and that produces resinous, piney, citrus, and herbal aromas. It's one of the most abundant terpenes in American hop varieties. Then you've got linalool. It contributes floral, lavender, and sweet citrus notes. Yeast
Mm.
can transform it during fermentation into even more aromatic compounds.
Now that's why we need to have a brewer that is good at this stuff because that's interesting, right?
I'm gonna,
How to match the yeast with the different terpenes.
I gotta tag Anthony Stone in this. I'll get to him. I'll make it a point to reach out to him.
Okay.
All right, the next one we've got geraniol. I like that because then it offers rose-like or
Hmm.
fruity or citrus aromas. It also undergoes biotransformation during fermentation, helping create juicy tropical fruit flavors in hazy IPAs. And by the way, just as a fun side note, I love that you and I are just drinking this monster of a beer right now, and you're making me science.
You know what? I know you do better with big beer in you for doing the
Well,
science stuff.
so I hear my brain trying to tell my mouth, you have to say this. So my brain is running and my mouth is trying to keep up,
Yeah.
which has
You're doing
gotten me in
good,
trouble
Chris. You're doing
before.
good.
Okay,
You're
the
doing
next
good.
one on our list is humulene. It adds woody, earthy, herbal, and slightly spicy characteristics, often found in traditional noble hops. And the
Mm.
fun one out of the entire list, that's the caryophyllene.
Nailed it.
Yeah, caryophyllene. If it's wrong, oh well. Brings subtle black pepper, spice, and woody notes that add complexity to many hop-forward beers.
Great job, Chris. You nailed all
Thanks,
that.
buddy.
That whole section. Great job. So
Jesse, what did I miss?
so terpenes have become one of the biggest innovations in hop brewing over the past 5 to 10 years. One thing worth clarifying, though, is terpenes already exist naturally in hops, but breweries can also purchase terpene concentrates extracted from hops, like in cannabis, which is THC-free hemp, and citrus and other botanicals to fine tune their aroma. So let's look at how brewers actually use terpenes in the brewing process. So, Chris, how are terpenes added into the brewing process?
Well, unlike hops, terpenes are never boiled. She said I got 100%. Woo! Unlike hops, terpenes are never boiled because they're extremely volatile. The heat from the kettle would simply drive them off. So instead, brewers are typically going to add them during one of three stages. The first stage would be during fermentation, and many brewers add terpenes while yeast is still active. But why would they do that? Because the yeast can chemically modify certain terpenes through a process called biotransformation. For example, geraniol can become
Ooh.
citronellal.
Oh,
Those double L's are throwing me off. I,
yeah.
I want to speak
Citron.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Citronellol. That's okay. And then linalool can become more fruity compounds. How come we couldn't have said geraniol can become something simple instead of what the hell is citronellol? There's three L's in there.
Citronella.
So the
Yeah,
the
maybe I put an extra L in the end there.
so you did that on
I could
purpose.
have I could have accidentally put another L in there by accident just
Okay,
to throw
well,
you off.
either way, it's still fun. But this often creates brighter tropical fruit flavors than adding the same terpenes after fermentation.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's great. So the second is during dry hopping. This is probably the most common method. The terpene concentrate is blended with the beer while dry hops are soaking in the fermenter. The benefits of this include an enhanced aroma. You also get better integration with the hop oils, and there's less artificial character. And of course, the lower hop usage while maintaining aroma intensity. That's the key
That's a
too.
big one right there.
Because, we heard one of the brewers that were on that if they had to add the amount of hops to get the amount of flavor they wanted in there, it would have been a butt ton of hops, and then they can just add a little bit of this terpenes in there, and it gives the same characteristic as all those hops. So it saves money, saves space, and you can put more beer in the
Yeah.
fermenter,
Put
so
it,
you don't have to fill it with hops and not get as much beer, and you don't have as much waste, and you don't have any. The other thing is you don't have to worry about the negative aspects of the vegetal
Yep.
character, getting into it as well.
Because if you and Denny, I would appreciate it if you would use, common industry measurements like shitload and fuck ton, and not just try to like, you know,
Not
brush it
just butt
off.
ton or
Yeah.
uh, or, or,
But
or butt cold.
yeah, butt cold. That's a fun video coming up here soon too. But but yeah, and even when we talked about our dry hop and wet hop show, back in the fall, where they were like, look, some of our hop fields just aren't producing the way that we want them
Yeah,
to.
that's true.
Um,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned, if they can use some of these products to stretch their hops, okay, well then it's not going to cost you and I $12 to have a double IPA that tastes
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they'll
Yeah.
probably still charge it because they can get it,
Yeah.
um, but it's going to be more efficient for them, and it'll help, you know, keep breweries up and running.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the last place that they're going to be using these terpenes during the process, and that's at packaging. And some breweries wait until the beer is transferred into a bright tank or just before canning. And some of the advantages for that are going to include maximum aroma retention. I like saying that one.
Yeah.
Maximum aroma retention, precise dosing, and then consistent flavor from batch to
Yeah.
batch.
Another key. Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
well,
key.
and it's tough too because if you're putting it in, early on, I mean, you're gonna lose some liquid. Did you dose it right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like when I made dinner tonight. I made shrimp fried rice for dinner. And I don't like to over season in the beginning because if I add soy sauce later,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
it'll be real salty real
Mm-hmm.
fast. And you can't take salt away, you can always add it, right? Um,
Good point. Good
yeah.
point.
So precise dosing and consistent flavor from batch to batch, but there's a downside. The terpenes in this stage, they don't get the benefit of a yeast biotransformation. So better
Yeah,
pick
and
the
I
right one.
wonder, one question that I have that again would be great if we had a brewer that could explain how it works is how fast does it what's the term, Jesse, when you put something in and it disperses throughout the whole liquid and equalizes in there? Is it instantaneous? Does the brewers have to pick up the fermenters and shake it to get it all mixed in there? I mean, how does this work? I don't know. I'm very curious
Or
about
how
that.
long does
So
it take to
how
biotransform?
yeah, and how long does it take? I mean, you just put the drops in and you can immediately start packaging? I don't know. That's a good question.
We can't keep asking her questions though. I'll run out of shark's teeth.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we don't want to you don't want to have to go find more. All right. So so here's the big question. How much do you put in, right? Do you just, dump a butt ton in there or a shitload or what was the other one, Chris? Oh, yeah, he took his headphones off, but no, I don't know. Well, it says less is more. This is where many home brewers get into trouble. Terpenes are incredibly potent. We're talking additions measured in fractions of milliliters per gallon. Fractions of milliliters per gallon. Sometimes just a few parts per
Parts
million.
per million.
Yeah, wow, that's some crazy measurements there. Too much can make the beer taste perfumey. You don't want perfumey beer. Artificial, you definitely don't want artificial beer. Solvent like, no way, man. I do not want solvent like
Mm-mm.
beers. Overly resinous, I can handle overly resinous, but I will admit, my palate has adapted from the late '90s, early 2000s when everything was heavily
Yeah, no
resinous
kidding.
to where I like some resinous, but I don't need it overly resinous. So I can handle it, but I don't really necessarily want it. Or who wants their beer tasting like household cleaners? No way, man. Come on, don't put too much in there. Most commercial breweries carefully bench test multiple dosage rates before treating an entire batch, which is important. I just built a mobile cart for
Hmm.
my new thickness planer I got for my birthday, and um, oh, I lost my train of thought. I just said my birthday, and I totally had a senior moment. Um, and I bought a new tool, and
Hmm.
my new tool I bought to help join these pieces together is a pocket hole jig.
Love those.
Yeah, and I like I need to have this. If I want to build stuff, I need to have this to make it so I have some good, strong joints. The good news is I was smart like these brewers, and I practiced because you know what? You can watch all the videos you want. You can listen. You can follow the tables. You're going to mess up on your jig setup the first time you use it.
Yep.
I followed the instructions. I went and said, I'm going to do it on practice pieces first. And I drilled my holes and I put my screw in. And guess what? I had two pieces. The chuck bit was not at the right height and the jig wasn't the right height. And my screw went right through the material out the other side. And I'm like, well, that's not right. So then I realized, okay, let me not use the instructions, and now let me use my engineering mind to figure this out. And guess what? I readjusted both pieces. The next practice one I did was perfect, and I used that for all my things. But yeah, it's very smart to not just like go all in and say, yep, this is it, and just do it, and then ruin a 15, 30, 50, 100 barrel batch of beer.
Yeah.
That would be very bad.
Or hell, if you're buying lumber, God, that's not getting any cheaper either.
So the good news is I built my entire stand for my planer out of wood I reclaimed from work. That was in a dumpster. Pallets, and then right before, so Thursday before the holiday, there were two 2x4 by 10-foot lumber pieces in the trash. And I went to the supply guy and said, hey, can I take these? He said, oh, yeah, take it if you want it. So I came back with my skill saw, cut them in half, and I used those two pieces as well as a pallet that had 5/8 inch plyboard on there to build my entire thing. The only thing I paid for was the pocket hole jig, the screws, and the casters. And I now have a
Look at you.
free lumber. Yeah.
Look at you.
We're good. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to get sidetracked on a little tangent there. But hey, you know what? We're a craft beer and woodworking podcast.
This old beer.
This old beer. So, Kris, do terpenes interact with other ingredients?
They interact with a lot of other ingredients, but oxygen specifically is an enemy.
Oh, sorry, I went too far. You're right. Is oxygen an enemy?
Yeah, well, at least I'm paying attention. Usually it's you.
It's this beer. Look,
Good.
I only have that much left. I didn't follow Jesse's advice and not drink it so fast.
Well, Denny, oxygen is the enemy for terpenes because they oxidize very easily. So that means the brewers must minimize oxygen exposure, purge the tanks with CO2, package carefully. No, Jesse, that's what she said. And then store the beer cold. So oxidized terpenes quickly lose their bright citrus character and can become dull, woody, or grassy. Ew.
Interesting. The dull, woody, or grassy characteristics are what I have experienced in older, especially hazy IPAs and pale ales. Is you get those exact characteristics, right? You get the grassy. I don't mind grassy flavor in the beer if it's meant to be there, right? I can appreciate that. I don't mind woody character in there if it's supposed to be in there. Dull, I know that something's not right because it's supposed to be bright, right? It's supposed to be a bright hop character, aroma. So that's where you start to have some issues. And I will admit, lately I have picked up some hazies and I drank them, and then I didn't pay attention to look in the bottom of the can and find out how old they were. They were 3 to 4 months old, and they had those characteristics, right? Those terpenes, they must not have had they had too much dissolved oxygen in the packaging, and it just wore them down over those, months of being packaged, and end up being dull, woody, and grassy. So you got to be careful about that.
Well, Denny, how did terpenes interact with other ingredients then?
Well, let me tell you this, Kris. They interact a lot with a lot of different ingredients. So we already talked, first of all, we talked about yeast, right? Different yeast strains transform terpenes differently. For example, English ale strains will emphasize stone fruit, which, I think we've had some, we just had someone on that talked about, I asked what yeast they were using, and he said English ale, and I was getting I think we were getting that pear character. I think it was
Oh, the
Tyler, right?
Grotzer. The pear character was coming out of that smoked wheat
Oh,
beer
oh,
from
that was Hinder. Yeah,
Hinder.
Hinder. Yeah,
Hinder.
or yeah, Hinder. Oh gosh, I'm screwing up everywhere. It's this damn beer. Yeah, he said he uses English ale, and sure enough, we did get some. Maybe I guess it was pear, but it could be stone fruit as well. Um, London L3 will enhance the juicy tropical notes. Some newer thiolized yeast strains
Yes.
unlock
Yes.
additional passion fruit, guava, and Sauvignon Blanc aromas from hop compounds that weren't previously noticed or noticeable. Hops, guess what? Hops also affect it. Terpenes don't replace hops. Instead, they complement them. A brewer may use neutral bittering hop early in the boil and then rely on terpene blends to build aroma while reducing expensive late hop additions. This can also reduce the hop burn and beer loss caused by massive dry hopping. And hop burn is the worst in hazy beers. I have zero tolerance for hop burn
Yeah.
nowadays. So if a beer has hop burn, you're going to hear about it from me. I'm not gonna be easy on you.
Denny's going to send you a strongly worded letter.
Strongly worded leather. All right, leather, leather. All right, malt. A heavily roasted stout generally won't benefit much from tropical terpenes because the roast flavors will dominate. On the other hand, pilsners, blonde ales, kolsch's, hazy IPAs, and West Coast IPAs allow the terpene aromas to really shine. All right, Kris. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do the water chemistry. I'll just finish up all the ingredients, and
Okay,
then you
go
can do
ahead.
the popular terpene ones. Okay. So the last part of it is water chemistry. Higher chloride levels tend to soften and round fruity terpene characters. Higher sulfate levels sharpen citrus and resinous notes. That's one reason that New England IPAs and West Coast IPAs can use similar hops but smell and taste quite different. All right, Kris. So let's talk about some popular commercial terpene blends.
Well, I want to tell you that Jesse is so very proud of you for saying thiolized.
Did you notice I had to pause and think about it before I said it?
She's teaching us both. It's kind of nice. Like we get a chemistry tutor from the opposite ends of the country. It's great. All right. So the popular commercial terpene blends that many suppliers sell are designed to mimic popular flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Some of these are going to sound really familiar to a certain group of you listening to this podcast. So the blends, Pineapple Express, you're going to
Yeah.
get pineapple, mango, citrus, tropical candy, that kind of thing. You're going to get cherry pie is the next one. Cherry, berry, sweet fruit, light earthiness. We have that in
Mm-hmm.
one of the previous beers with
Yeah.
Pontoon. Blue Dream, berry, blueberry, herbal sweetness. Maui Wowie. Again, some of this is going to sound familiar to some of you, but pineapple, papaya, tropical fruit, and that Maui Wowie. In the super lemon haze, you're going to get lemon zest, citrus peel, bright floral flavors. The forbidden fruit blend, cherry, grapefruit, tropical citrus. Wedding cake, vanilla,
Yeah.
citrus, earthy sweetness. You've got gelato, which is going to give you orange, berry, creamy citrus. Now I want to like start seeking out these beers with these terpenes in them. The OG Kush. Everybody's probably had a beer with that in it, and they
Mm-hmm.
just don't
Mm-hmm.
know it. But pine, earth, dank resin,
Mm-hmm.
and sour diesel. Again, a lot of these are sounding familiar, I'm sure. Sour diesel, I hope it doesn't taste like diesel. One of the typical characters says diesel. Grapefruit, herbal, and citrus. Jack Herer, pine, spice, and citrus. And then the last one, the strawberry cough, is fresh strawberry and berry sweetness. So just a quick note, many of these names originated as cannabis cultivars. The terpene products used in brewing are typically THC
Mm-hmm.
free, food grade flavor blends that recreate the aroma profile without adding cannabinoids or psychoactive effects. That's our
Yes.
disclaimer.
Yeah, yeah. Just to let you know, so. I've actually had beers with a lot of these blends in it. Of course, the Pineapple Express. Jim Dandy makes a few beers with them, plus other brewers I've had. But Jim Dandy definitely does a good one there. Cherry Pie, we've already mentioned that one.
Hmm.
The Blue Dream, I did have beers with the Blue Dream in it. Then and the Maui Wowie, and then the OG Kush, of course. The OG Kush, there's like Rubens does a lot of OG like the Kush beers, and I think Freem does one as well. And then the other one was Wedding Cake. I just had a beer with Wedding Cake terpenes in it just recently. I don't remember which one it was. Those are the ones that I know 100% that I've had these terpenes added into beers just because they listed it in the description on the can. How about you, Chris? Have you had a few of those? I know you had
Well,
the same
I
ones,
know we've
the
had
Pineapple
Pineapple
Express.
Express and Cherry Pie. I know I've had OG Kush.
Yeah.
Just specifically, it's, that was probably what made some of the Sweetwater 420 beers the way that they were. Um, and and I don't know any of the other ones that I can think of, but I am currently checking in through Chat GPT to find out where
Other beers.
if they can find me like beers in the US that are using some of
Okay.
these terpenes. So I'm about to hit enter and make the robot do the thinking. But I'd like to find out a little bit more about them or find out which some of which
Yeah.
breweries are using these, or hell, there might be breweries that are using them and we just don't even realize it.
Yeah. I was going to put beers in here, but I realized that with the two topics I had,
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it too long, so that's why I didn't put beers. But it's not hard to figure out which ones have them, right? If the breweries put them on the cans,
Hmm.
and if you see one of those names, you know it's got those terpenes in it. So a lot of breweries are using them, and they really make the beer stand out. And you're going to know by drinking the beer, you're going to taste it, you're going to smell it, you're going to feel the effect of the bright flavors and very bold character as well.
Well, that
All
was
right,
fast.
let's do some fun facts. The recent explosion of hazy IPAs isn't just about adding more hops, it's also about maximizing terpene expression. Modern brewers carefully select hop varieties, use specialized hop products, and even choose specific yeast strains that interact with hop terpenes during fermentation. This process is known as biotransformation, can unlock entirely new tropical fruit aromas that weren't present in the hops alone. Some breweries are now using terpene concentrates as a sustainability tool, producing the same explosive hop aroma with fewer late hop additions, can reduce the beer loss and to hop absorption, lower ingredient costs, and improve consistency from batch to batch, especially when certain hop varieties become scarce or expensive.
And terpenes are one of the excuse me. Terpenes are one of the biggest reasons today hop forward beers can smell like a tropical fruit smoothie, a basket of citrus, or even a walk through a pine forest. And wow, I totally just lost my spot where I was reading. They are a powerful tool, but like any ingredient in brewing, balance is everything. A
Yeah.
few drops can elevate a great IPA, but too much, and your beer can go from juicy to perfume in a hurry. So,
Mm-hmm.
one important note, terpene concentrates are not yet mainstream across the craft beer industry. And while innovative breweries use them, particularly for experimental IPAs and non-alcoholic beers, the majority of craft brewers still rely on hop selection, hopping techniques, and yeast biotransformation to create their desired aroma.
Mm-hmm.
Many brewers also prefer to let their hops speak for themselves, so the
Mm-hmm.
use of added terpene blends remains a specialized technique rather than an industry standard. So some of those breweries are out there going, "We're purists over here."
Yeah, well, okay, so let me throw this little bit out there though. I I agree. The breweries that are able to get their own private hop selection and hand pick their hops to make the beer that they actually want to, brew, that's great. Keep doing it. But guess what? Not all these smaller breweries have that capability of going in there and hand picking specialty hops to make the beer exactly the way they want. And this is a great alternative for them to get a beer that tastes like these other breweries without having the ability to go hand select the perfect hop.
Yeah.
So it's either way, I appreciate both, and I've had great beers with both techniques, and I'm not going to down either way because they're both craft brewing, right? They're both brewing up beers in the process to make them the best they can be, and they just have different methods of doing it. So,
Well, I got a couple of local breweries to you and me that are doing it, but it's not going to match the exact strain list that we talked about. And Tampa Bay Brewing has two beers listed, and one of them is called Color Rush Black IPA.
ooh, wow, a black IPA. How come I haven't had that one, Chris?
Well, so this was listed. So ChatGPT is utilizing things like Instagram, Untapped,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah.
So it was something that was back in 2025. It was a collaboration, it looks like, with Urban South out of New Orleans.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so there was even one in 2024 from TBBC. Is their Dank IPA there with Pineapple Express.
Yeah, yeah.
In your neck of the woods, Barbarian Brewing. Whoops.
Mm.
Wait. Their Call of the Wild, but that was also in 2025. So there's plenty of things out there, but it's really, is it going to be something that is local to you, or is it also going to be, this list I'm getting is it going to be current also?
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Um, 100%. I don't believe that with that Pontoon Smiggles show. So the
Yeah.
the Smiggles show. Man, my memory is going. The beer's affecting me. If you can't tell, 100%. That beer would not have had the strawberry and cherry burst of aroma and flavor that we got from it without the terpenes.
Oh,
There's no
no
way.
doubt.
It was that was so big. It can only be added by having that, the terpene interaction, because we all know that, especially strawberry, it is so hard to get strawberry flavor and
Yeah.
aromas into. You can get the aroma into the beer, but the flavor is hard to get, and because it's a strawberry has got very little amount of flavor. I mean, it's a lot of water, and it doesn't carry. And watermelon too is another one. If they could package watermelon terpenes, that would be
Oh,
great as well. Um, but yeah, these Smiggles beers wouldn't. I mean, we wouldn't have had this quality of a beer without the terpenes addition. I don't think it would have been good, but not as good to get that to boost that up to that next level. Right? It's going to give everyone the experience that they wanted to get with the beer. And you can't just get that by adding in, junk food,
yeah.
candy and stuff.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Okay, Chris, that is a great topic. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know that I had learned a lot during it, and I know Chris has probably learned a lot, and I hope you guys all learned a lot about terpenes. And if we can get Anthony from Tampa Bay Brewing Company on the show to talk about biological transformation and how these terpenes interact with the hops and each other, that would be great too. So, Anthony, if you're listening, hit us up for an interview. We'd love to talk to you. Okay, we're not going to do another beer tasting, but we
No.
are going to talk about the upcoming interviews. We do have a couple interviews coming up, maybe more than two. I only have two on my list.
So
Is
far,
there
I
a
believe
third
it's
one?
two. I believe
Okay,
it's
two.
two.
All right. Well, we were supposed to have Wes Noble. Wes.
Hmm.
Wait a minute. I
Nick
said Wes.
Torgalski.
Oh
Nick
no.
Torgalski was supposed to be tonight with
It was supposed to be
Resurgence.
Nick from Resurgence Brewing, but we had a little foobar with the beer shipment.
Fubar is not even. That's putting it lightly.
and so because Nick is is such a, I mean, I love Resurgence. I love Nick. The tenacity that he has to get the beer to us so that we could have a show with him, the head brewer of Resurgence Brewing, talking about the beer he's brewing, with us drinking the beer. It was very important for him to have the beer ready for us. And he shipped the beer out. Mine got returned like instantaneous, and he shipped mine out a different company. Chris's got shipped and didn't get shipped back until it got to Florida and then got shipped back.
Yeah.
So the good news is I received my beer shipment, but Kris didn't receive his beer shipment, so we have to postpone the show until August 17th. And Nick is going to very kindly send more beer to us, which is incredible, so that we can drink fresh beer while we talk to him on August 17th. So look forward to Nick Torgalski from Resurgence Brewing out of Buffalo, New York, coming on August 17th. Before that, though, next episode, we'll be talking with Wes Noble of Noble Twist Tap Room out of Sagatuck, Michigan.
Saugatuck.
Sagatuck,
Saugatuck, Michigan. And
on July 20th.
and both of these breweries were winners of medals in the World Beer Cup this
World Beer
past year.
Cup, yes. Yes. Yeah, that's incredible, too. That, we put out when breweries win these awards, Kris is very, quick to sending out emails to ask if, hey, we just congratulations on winning an award. We'd love to talk to you about your beer and about the award. And we were again lucky enough to get a couple, hits back on some of these local winners, and looking forward to drinking their beer and chatting with them about their success. Okay, some feedback from the last show. We had a little bit of feedback from Eric Scotty Ward. He sent us an email. He says, after Tom Everett from Von Trapp Brewing was on the show, I found. Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm reading his
Oh,
email.
I found a place to buy a Japanese creamer tap. Here's my golden pour. And he says, not to be confused with a golden shower. But I digress. It's a cute toy to play with. Cheers. So, wow, that is fantastic. So not only did Eric get a side pull tap to use on his own Czech style lagers he's brewing, he also got a Japanese creamer tap to play
Yeah.
with to go ahead and get that 70-30 golden pour, right? That was a key, 70-30.
Yeah. You know, it always makes me laugh too, Denny, because like when you and I have the chance to sit down and chat with our listeners in person, have a beer with them, spend some time with them, I don't. Oh, you had another beer on standby, huh?
I
Uh,
do. You want to break open that Smiggles beer? Or are you gonna?
no, I do not. I do not. Because I'm still feeling very much coherent right now, and it might lead to a not good night of sleep. But
Okay.
when we sit down with people, and I don't know how it is for you, but I feel that when I get to meet with our listeners in person, I do like to have some sort of professionalism when I'm sitting
Yeah.
down and meeting people, right? Because
Hmm.
for those of you that get to meet the real me, I'm a weirdo. I'm a bit of a weirdo. But when I need to be filtered, I can be filtered. But when I can be myself, then you get to meet me, and I'm just a bit of a weirdo. Um, but seeing that feedback from Eric going, not to be confused with a golden shower, was freaking hilarious. And it
Yeah.
just made me go, you're a weirdo just like the rest of us, buddy. And
I,
yeah,
I think
so
we said, did we not say golden shower on the show last time? I
I
think we
don't
might
think
have.
so.
Oh, we didn't say. Oh, I thought we
Maybe
did.
we did. I don't know.
I thought you did say something about golden shower, but maybe I'm digressing as
I don't know.
well.
Maybe you should drink the rest of that beer because I still have a
No,
good
I drank the
four
rest
ounces
of
left.
my Martin House Death by Chocolate's gone. Now I've got the gold medal of GABF, silver medal World Beer Cup uh, for Hella Style Lager, the Kirkland Lager from Deschutes. They sell this 12 pack at Costco for $12. It's like a buck
That's
of
a
beer.
stupid good deal.
Yeah, we're getting silver World Cup silver medal beer for $1 a beer. You cannot go wrong with
Yeah,
that.
you really can't.
So yes, I am picking up this beer in half racks and storing it in my beer fridges are so full I can't store any more beer. I have to leave them in the house because I don't have any room in my
Yeah.
fridges. I have 3 fridges that are completely full of beer. That's crazy.
Yeah, my beer fridge in the garage needs some liquidation.
Hmm.
That's when like I was I was kind of glad that the beers didn't show up from Resurgence because what I saw that you got sent, I don't know where I would put it.
I had to do some creative. All of them are in the fridge,
Hmm.
but he sent, like, I'll tell our listeners, he sent 14 beers. That is insane that he sent 14 beers. Now it is two of each. There's seven different styles, two of each. But I mean, that is very generous of any brewery to send that many beers, knowing that we're not going to be able to drink them all on the show that we're
Yeah.
recording on. But that allows Chris and I to, have additional beers to chat with you guys when we do these shows like this. Like we had Pontoon and we had the Batman Dan's beer. We love drinking beer and talking about it on the show. So I really appreciate Nick going above and beyond. Fantastic.
Yeah. But the cool
Okay.
part is that I've also heard from our one of our listeners, Matt Knight. He
Mhm.
said that Resurgence puts out great stuff. So
Yeah, I
he's
have
right next door in
coworkers.
Rochester.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have coworkers from Buffalo that
yeah.
say, "Yeah, Resurgence is great," and that's the guy I work with. His brother still lives in Buffalo, and that's his. He goes there all the time to Resurgence. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to drinking the beer for sure.
And I also like it too that, we're fortunate to have friends and listeners all across the country. And like when we talked to Brandon over at Middle Ground out of
Hmm.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee,
Yeah.
I was chatting with my friends in Murfreesboro going, "Hey, you should go there and have a beer and like scope it out for me."
Mm.
Go have a beer, grab a sticker. Like, uh,
Yeah.
because in at least in the dog training world, I have a lot of folks that'll just be like, "Oh, okay, I'll go to the brewery." I had my one friend Tommy that owns the location in Buffalo. Like, I'm gonna send him a text here in the
Yeah,
next few days.
for
Hey,
sure. Yeah.
go.
I would be shocked if he hasn't already visited
Yeah,
Resurgence.
yeah,
I'd be
most
shocked.
definitely.
Yeah.
Um, but and for our folks in Buffalo, 716 day is coming up, so that's their area code.
Okay.
Oh,
That's true. 716, right around the corner. All right. Well, if you want to leave us a voicemail, we'd love to get your voicemail. 208-536-3359. Too many numbers because you've been drinking 12% beers like Chris and I. How about 208-53 oddly? Program the damn number in your phone, and then all you got to do is talk to your phone assistant and tell them to call Tap to Craft Podcast and leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear your voice. And if you want to be like Eric Scotty Ward and send us an email, you can do that at taptocraft@gmail.com. If you want to reach out to us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/taptocraft. And don't forget to visit our website, taptocraft.com. Okay, Chris, are you ready to check out? Are you ready to continue the conversation
I am.
and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped in our
I
Untapped to
I
Craft
I
segment?
most definitely am. I if you I have a check-in in front of me that's kind of making me giggle. But remember, we're going to read your check-ins usually approximately 24 hours before we record the show. And in order for us to read those check-ins, you got to follow me on Untapped. It's my username is K9Hops, so it's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS. And like I said, we'll read your check-ins approximately 24 hours before we start recording. And we're going to start with Mr. Jeff Weesey from 4 hours ago. So there's been a lot of drinking in the last 4 hours. So we'll see what we're getting into. But Jeff is drinking the Spontaneous Ferment 5-year blend by Garden Path Fermentation. And this got a 5 cap rating from Jeff. It says lightly effervescent, acidic, with floral and tart sweet raspberry notes and a light oak finish. Cheers. That's a hell of a check-in, Jeff. I'm glad you get to have some 5 cap beers. And you're drinking it out of your untapped glass, too. Here was the check-in that it kind of made me giggle, and it's from Jordan West. I'm sorry, Jordan West, drinking an Eloise by the Downed Lands Brewery. Now, Jordan, I've checked. We've read some of your check-ins before too, and buddy, you get some details into your check-ins, and this was a 5 cap rating for him. And here's what he had to say: Drowned Lands, this was an awesome West Coast banger. I got some crisp, earthy effervescence right off the jump. Also got some dank, bitter, resinous grapefruit pith, pine needles, pine saplings, subtle peach, sour diesel. Hey, there's those terpenes we were talking about. Pine Island Skunk, Weedy Cat Piss, and Blueberry. Now, Denny had to hop up and go to the bathroom, but if he heard me say weedy cat piss, that that would just get him because I don't ever want to taste that in my beers, but I also know that it's kind of a flavor that comes out in some of these hops too. Batgirl says good night too. Good night to you guys. Thanks for hopping on with us. Denny, if I said to you, this beer tastes like weedy cat piss, what would you say?
I would say old school Citra.
According to Jordan West, this was an awesome West Coast banger.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. So moving on up the list, we've got Chad Lamassa. Oh man, I have better check in on this one. I hope you maybe just didn't get a fresh one. Chad's checking into a Headhunter by Fatheads Brewery. It's fine.
Oh.
That was the notes. It's fine. 3 cap rating. Um, Eric Scotty Ward. I'm kind of getting jealous of these check-ins specifically, Denny, because he's drinking a Match Day by Wanderback Beer Works. Now, for those of you that don't know Eric lives basically 10 minutes east of me here in the Tampa area, and he's drinking beer that you can only buy in New Jersey. And he told me where I can get it, and that's fine, but I'm still kind of jealous and envious of his check-ins. Match Day by Wanderback Beer Works. And he gave this a 5 cap rating, which is pretty typical for a Wanderback Beerworks beer. A great Czech Pils, a combo of Satz, Sphere, Hallertau, and Magnum hops is the perfect blend with the magical grain bill, a local grain bill, by the way, Eric. Smooth and a bit dry was his check-in for the Match Day by Wanderback Beerworks. We've got Craig Andrew checking into a handful of things. If I remember correctly, he just made his way up to Michigan to go visit family. Checking into some beers by Third Nature Brewing. And my guess is they're probably IPAs. Yep. So got a couple of check-ins for Third Nature Brewing there from Craig. Ryan Whedon in the Cuyahoga Falls area in Ohio. Right Proper English IPA by Rocky River Brewing Company. Nice and malty with a touch of sweetness on the finish. 3 and 3/4 cap rating for that one. Matt Griffo. Ooh, this was one I haven't had in a long time. Checking into a coconut chocolate bar 10W40 by Highwire Brewing. I kind of miss some Highwire Brewing. He said, I've been hitting these North Carolina beers hard lately. This one does not disappoint. Big and rich without being overly thick. It's a 10W40, Matt. How could it not be overly thick? He said it hits all the marks, and he gave it a 4.5 cap rating for his check-in. Chad Lamassa is redeeming himself by just saying simply, I like this for the Impossible Bottle by Hop Butcher for the World. A 4.25 cap check-in for his I like this on his Impossible Bottle. Scrolling on up the list, we've got a couple of check-ins saying Go USA or Go USA. Art Warcheck checking into a Bright Idea by Missing Falls Brewery. Bill Schlemmer checking into a Pilsner by Trillium Brewing. Great Pilsner, medium hop bitterness with just a hint of corn sweetness in the middle with a dry finish. Nice balance. 4.25 cap rating for that one. And scroll. I'll read this one specifically because it has profanity in it.
Uh-oh.
Jonathan M. checking into a Spells by Supermoon Beer Company. And he said, let the baby bitch cry. This game is everything that's wrong with the national team in all factors, starting with that overrated child number 10 and this non-existent defense, including a goalie that did something I never thought possible. Just wow. I
So I
am kind
take
of
it the U.S. lost?
I don't know, but I am kind of curious to know. What do you think of the beer?
Yeah,
How's the
this is supposed.
beer?
Yeah, what's up
Is
with that,
is
man?
it making you baby bitch cry, or is what's happening here?
Or is he Belgian?
Oh,
Belgian,
maybe I don't know.
maybe
I don't
he's complaining about his team.
maybe. But Denny, I'm waiting for the screen to refresh. But oh, there we go. That's what everybody is drinking.
Okay. Well, you know what, Chris? Let's find out what we've been drinking. And since you just got done chatting, let me go through. Oof. Well, as I'm get done burping, let me go through my new and oldie beers over the last couple weeks. So I had a couple 5 cap rating beers. Yes. The first one is from Wayfinder Beer out of Portland, Oregon. It's their original cold IPA. You know how I love cold IPA, and I've had other cold IPAs that Wayfinder's released, but I haven't had the original
Mm.
cold IPA. And I saw it on the shelf at the co-op, and I had to pick it up, so I grabbed it, and it was not disappointing. Now, I do have some friends that didn't rate it as high as I did, but for me, a person who loves the style, this beer is everything I love in a cold IPA. And I said citrus hard candy aroma rolling into the flavor, a bit of piney flavor too. I absolutely love this beer. I'm not sure why my friends didn't find it as enjoyable. Glad I finally got to try the original cold IPA because it's worthy to start the start of the new style. So yeah, 5 cap rating for that one. Next 5 cap rating comes from a brewery in Oregon. Now, you remember Chris and I had to record a week early because we were going, we were taking our trailer out, doing some camping around Oregon, doing a big giant loop. And while I was in Oregon, my buddy Mike and I, Mike Blanchard, who is a Patreon supporter, and my Navy friend, well, my friend and Navy, we served in Navy together. Uh, we went on a beer. We kind of revisited our Navy time, Navy days, and went visited a few breweries. I think 5 in one day, mini coast trip, and we went to Dirt Road. I've talked about Dirt Road Brewing. Amazing. They're in Philomath, Oregon, little small town of nothing.
Hmm.
We visited there with Mike a couple years ago, and I love the beer. And several of the listeners have gone through and also visited Dirt Road and commented that they really liked the beer as well. So we stopped there on the first stop on our little beer tour we did. And I'll tell you what, not only did they expand into the next building or next shop next to them, so now they have double the space in their current location. Right behind the brewery, they're building a custom brewery facility to go into production brewing. And I went in and chatted with the beer tender, and he says, "Yeah, we're doing great. We're expanding. I'm really grateful that they're doing well because the beer is really good." I'm not talking about Dirt Road, but I just want to give an update because I've talked about them before. And if you're going to drive through Highway 20 through Philomath, you got to stop at Dirt Road and have some beers, pizza. They're really good. But we went on to Newport, and Newport is known for Rogue, right?
Hmm.
Rogue
They were known for Rogue.
ales. Yeah.
Mm.
So the brewery that moved into the old Rogue tap room is Claim 52. Now Claim 52, I believe, is outside of Eugene, Oregon, and now they took over that tap room, and so we stopped there. And I normally don't do flights. I made an exception because
Really?
they had like 30 some beers on their tap list, and
Jeez.
I said, how can I just settle for, and we're going to do a couple, stops. So I can't be drinking all these pints of beer. I'll be
Yeah,
peeing all day
but
long.
but if you're with Mike, you just get one of each, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got a flight of 8 beers. So I tried 8, I think they're 4-ounce beers. So that's a good amount of beer. And I'll tell you what, the beers were fantastic. But the one I want to talk about tonight is their Woolly Breeches. And it's a porter,
Hmm.
a style that a lot of people don't talk about these days. It's 5.8% ABV, and they say it's a toasty, roasty oat and cacao nib porter, relatively dry with the hoppy backbone. And what I said is great porter, chocolate, toffee flavor, the perfect amount of bitterness, a porter I have been waiting for, 5 cap rating. So
Hmm.
if you happen to be driving through the coast or Eugene, stop at Claim 52. If you enjoy a good, robust porter, American style porter, this Woolly Breeches is fantastic. 5 cap rating.
Great name too, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, now I'm going to talk about another beer that Mr. Batman Dan sent Chris and I.
Which I'm excited
And
to try when I get to it.
yeah, and I couldn't wait on this because Chris was drinking. I don't remember what day it was, but you were drinking some big beers,
It
and
was
then I said,
one of my new and noteworthy beers. And I texted you and I was like, Denny, I haven't been this drunk in a while.
yeah, yeah. So I said, well, hey, as soon as I get done working in the yard, I'm going to go drink a big beer. So my big beer was the Straight to L Velvet Evil, which is a 10% old ale. And we had the what was it called?
Yeah.
Unobtainium version of it, which I gave a 5 cap rating, which I loved. And this version is using that same base old ale style, but they add coffee and raspberries to it. And here's what I have to say about this. I said, big chocolate raspberry aroma that falls into the upfront flavor. The coffee shows up subtly midway through. It's creamy and smooth. There's a slight sweet finish. Absolutely wonderful beer. Thanks, Dan, for sharing. This just missed the 5. Now, Chris, you always ask, well, what would have made it a 5?
Yeah.
Why do you think I gave this a 4.75?
4.75 for
Yeah.
where was it? It was too sweet.
Yes, yes. The sweetness was what took that quarter cap off. If it would have cut that sweetness just a little bit more, it would have been perfect. But hey, 4.75 is not bad. And thank you, Dan.
Yeah, not
Great
shabby at
beer.
all.
No, no, no. And I really enjoyed the beer. It was great after coming in from working in the yard and sweating and hot. I did drink some water before I had it, and then I just said I'm drinking this cold old ale, and I really enjoyed it. Next beer, another trip on our coast brewery trip that Mike and I took. It's from Beachcrest Brewing out of Lincoln City, right outside of Lincoln City, Oregon, on the coast. And I've meant to go to this brewery like 3 times that I've been in Lincoln City, and for whatever reasons, it never it never happened. And this time, Mike drove me there, and we actually went. Again, I had another flight because there was a number of beers I wanted to try, and since I didn't know when I was going to make it to that brewery again, I said, let me just try a few of the beers and see what I like. And the beer I liked, guess what? It's another porter,
Mm.
English porter style this time,
Oh,
not the
right up your
American
alley.
style. It's called Proposal Rock, and again from Beachcrest Brewing. And I gave this beer a 4.5 cap rating. And I said, another great porter, roasty and chocolate and smooth. Why a 4.5? I don't know. I just know that it wasn't I enjoyed the woolly breeches a bit more, so I couldn't give it, the same thing. And I chose to give it a 4.5. But hey, another great porter, made the new and noteworthy list. And the last beer I'll talk about is another brewery in Newport. It's a brewery and tap room combination. It's really like a nano brewery they're brewing small batches, and they have a couple beers on tap along with some other stuff. And I had to have one of the 2 beers that they had from their own brewing. It's from Beer One Brews, and it's called a Three Goat Stout.
Three Goat Stout.
Yeah, notice that a lot of my beers are all big, more malty styles this time, except for the cold IPA. Uh, and what the description on this one from the brewery says, an oatsy, woodsy, roasty, caramel, and light-bodied stout. What I said is, damn, I hit the submit. Oh wait, so what happened is I hit the submit button before I actually wrote anything, so then I had to go in and edit it. So I said, damn, I hit the submit button for finishing a check-in. Great stout on nitro. Here's the other key. This beer was on nitro. It was
Mm.
designed perfectly for nitro because it didn't lose any of the roastiness that you lose. A lot of times you lose a lot of the meat of the beer
Yeah.
because it gets it gets kind of like blended out by the nitro. This beer didn't. It kept that roastiness, the caramel. It was super good. I said I still get all the needed characteristics of stout with the smoothness on nitro. This is how I brew. This is how to brew a nitro tapped beer. 4.5 cap rating. Um, Great beer from a very very small brewery in Newport, Oregon. So yeah, check out Beer One. It's a fun. It's got like a pirate theme tap room.
I'm in.
Uh, I really liked it. And that was a full pint of that one too. not just a taster. I did tasters at Claim 52 and Beachcrest. Everywhere else I did pints. So that's that.
Well, Denny, I'm sad to say, oh shit. When we started talking about the game and then you started talking about your beers, it was
Yeah.
3-1, but now it's currently 4-1 and not us. So
Wow, Belgium came to play.
yeah, apparently. Cajun, you suck. Sorry. My dog's Belgian. That's all right. Was that your new and noteworthies?
That was it. That's a lot.
Okay.
But we had 3 weeks
But well,
of
you did, and I love the fact that you went from pirate themed place, and now it's my turn
yeah.
because the first beer on my new and noteworthy is Inked Out from Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and this was a barrel aged imperial stout that I bought, excuse me, last year. That well, it came in a bomber, and I'm not one to do bombers by myself, but
Yeah. But you took on the
I
challenge.
did. I did. And while I was doing it, I made some fun video and some photos, fun photos to go along with it. Um, but this beer's been sitting in my fridge for over a year,
Oh
uh,
wow.
and clocking in at 10%. Let's see, where are my notes? I actually wrote notes for this thing. Rich barrel, um, good on plenty of roast, dark chocolate, vanilla, and oak, smooth and warming, and dangerously drinkable for a big imperial stout, and is definitely a beast worthy of its Kraken-inspired label.
The label was great. Your posts incredible. The
This was a
video,
fun
like
one.
the active one, and I mean, really well done. I have to
Well,
say.
thank you. And that was the same platform that we use for
Nice.
all of our video snippets too, because there's definitely some fun features in there that I don't use very often, but when I do, we can have some fun with it. But that was 4.75. The only
Wow.
thing that didn't get me to that 5 cap rating.
This is the size of the bottle.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But I like the fact that they did do a 22-ounce bottle. Um, that it was kind of classic, kind of a throwback if you want to look at it
hmm
that way, where it was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? I haven't had a 22 or 24-ounce bottle in quite a while. Let's brew a beer and have just make it big. But it was a lot to take on just by myself. So, but it was an enjoyable day of just hey, I don't have anything to do, so I'll just drink this beer.
Yeah.
So great beer. If they ever put it out again, um, I
Go
hope I can
grab
get
it.
some more of it. I hope I can
Yeah.
get some more of it. And then the next one was a beer from Dan Winch sending us over one of the beers was the Zombie Ice from Three Floyds.
Yeah.
And another beer that had some great can art on it,
hmm
but also had some great beer in it.
mm
And I can't I can't remember if I texted you about this one, but it was very like it was like a hazy and a West Coast had a baby.
Uh, I, so I drank this beer too, and I felt like it was more like a malt liquor.
Oh, really? I think the Zombie Ice got you, the name of it.
It was a bit boozy for me. That's why I was surprised when see your rating is so high.
Yeah.
Was it not? It wasn't too boozy for you?
No, but
Wow.
it had I like the combination of the citrus and the pine that it had with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's kind of typical of Three Floyds. They're one of those breweries that they're like, we do it big. They're like a
Yeah.
Detroit theory.
Yeah.
They're like, we're doing it
Yeah.
big or we're not doing it at all. But big and bold and aggressive. But the hop bite that goes along with it, to me, it was I gave it 4.25 caps to go with that beer, and I really did enjoy it.
Oh,
But
good.
it could have also been to the how you and I always talk about the environment. Dan
Yeah.
said, to me, it's more like a barley wine. Um,
Well, so yeah, so for
Eight
Dan it was barley wine. For me, it was like malt liquor
eight
because
and
it
a half
had that.
percent. So
Was it 8.5%? Was
it
that
was
what
eight
it
and a half
was?
percent. He said, "I
Yeah,
love it." You said, "I love it when friends send me three Floyds, citrus over pine aroma. I can smell the
I do.
strength of this beer, malty backbone. I do get a sense of booze, sweetness, and watery feel that can make the beer a bit difficult to drink."
That was it. It was the alcohol was giving it like a watery,
Hmm.
at least to me, like a mouth. Maybe it was mouth watering or whatever. But it that was what was hard for me to finish. I finished it, but it wasn't as enjoyable because it came across. I don't know, just like I was drinking like a
It
malt liquor.
was
It's
to me too. I remember it was more of like those. It was kind of like another throwback beer where it was like, "Hey, this is what double IPAs used to be like, or this is what, bigger West Coast IPAs used to be like." Um, that were, and Dan, I was reading Dan's check-in too. He said, Great hop aroma, a little on the sweeter, maltier side, kind of like a barley wine, but still enjoyable." And he gave it the same rating as you did. Um,
what did I gave it 3.75?
three and a half.
Oh, 3.5. Yeah, and that's strictly due to the fact that I just felt it was the alcohol for me. It was harder for me to drink because I felt like I said I didn't say it malt liquor there, but for me, if I were to characterize it, I have trouble drinking malt liquor because of that
Oh yeah.
big malty and alcohol type body. But I don't have problems drinking barley wine because I think the malt is a little bit different. It's not the same, it's not just giving up the alcohol content, right? It's
Right.
giving you flavor and some other characteristics too. Um, but I do appreciate anyone that sends me three Floyds because I
Oh
do
yeah.
love three
Well, and
Floyds.
I love how it can spark a conversation because you looked at it as, hey, it was just a bit malty for you. Dan liked it as it's kind of like a barley wine, but like,
Hmm.
and me, I'm like, it's kind of like a nice old school double IPA kind of thing. And then I was looking through the check-ins from like my friends on Untapped. Like Jeff Seiler said, delicious old school double IPA, loved it, 4.25 caps,
Oh, there you go. There
right?
you go.
And
Yeah.
it's nice because it's to the individual,
Yeah.
right? Or like Tom Byrne, 4 cap rating, didn't put any notes with it, but like um so there's definitely a few. Chad Lamassa, he just wrote yum, 4 cap rating for it. So I mean, I
Okay, so
love it that
we're
it's
all
it's
close.
kind of
Yeah,
all over the place, but it's
yeah.
still kind of in that same realm that
It's
people like
it,
it,
for
but
yeah, for me it's not zombie dust or whatever other ones I have here that
gumball head and
gumball head or wuck wuck fucker
yeah.
Finter.
Listen,
What
no.
wuck Finter?
I like the name you gave it. Guys, Denny
I
said
mean,
it, not me.
this beer was good, and I mean, I love Three Floyds. It's just that the zombie ice one
Hmm.
didn't hit me as well as the other Three Floyds have.
Oh,
So
no, I understand what you mean.
yeah.
But
Wow,
that is my new and noteworthy. So 4.25 caps for the Three Floyd Zombie Ice and 4.5 for the Inked Out from Tampa Bay Brewing Company.
nice. All right, Chris, let's go ahead and end this before we get to the 2 hour point. Who would you like to raise a glass to tonight?
Well, I'd love to raise my glass to Kevin Argauer, one of our Patreon
What?
supporters. It's his birthday in a couple, actually, the day the show releases on the 9th.
Okay, I got
It's
to
his
remember to
birthday.
send him a message on his birthday. I always
Yeah.
send him and Amanda text messages on her
Well,
birthday. So
Amanda's is easy for you
yeah,
specifically.
and she hit me for the first. I
Yeah.
think I try to hit her messaging before, first. She hit me first because she was in Wyoming
Yeah.
seeing moose and grizzly bears and everything. I'm like, hey, I'm just a four
Like
hour
one state
drive
over.
away. Come on down. He said, well, I'm. She was there with her nephew's graduation gift, so
Yeah.
she couldn't just come hang out with me for a day. But
It's your birthday, buddy.
yeah, she's my birthday buddy. But hey, happy birthday, Kevin. Hopefully you'll be able to do something fun like Amanda did on her birthday.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Kevin. Wanted to raise a glass to you, sir, and like Denny said, hope you have an awesome birthday. And then Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
All right, I'll raise the Patreon toast tonight goes out to my buddy Peter Tim. Thank you, Peter, for your patronage. And then, as I already mentioned, I have to raise a glass to my good friend Mike Blanchard, who's also a Patreon uh, donor. Um, he did host us on his family's land, and he's a great host. We had a great time hanging out for 3 days and doing beer things and just chatting. Really enjoy our friendship, and I really appreciate that we were able to keep in touch and keep visiting each other like family. And then my last toast goes out to John and Kristen Ream of
Yeah.
Trek Brewing. If anyone hasn't been paying attention to Facebook and noticed that they posted a very quiet post announcing that on July 13th they will be calling it quits for Trek Brewing. They're going to close down the brewery. I don't know why. John hasn't reached out to us and let us know, but I imagine it takes running a brewery takes a lot of time and energy, and maybe they realize that they they want to prioritize other stuff right now. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with the brewery, but I wish both John and Kristen the best, and I hope whatever their next adventure is successful.
Mhm.
And of course, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass. I want to thank all those who have served and who are currently serving in the U.S. military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope all those who are deployed are able to return home safely to their families very soon. And you can find the beers on the show notes located on the show post at tapthecraft.com. And Chris, why don't you go ahead and give out our last call?
All right, like he said, it is last call and time to bring the show to a close. Foam fresh, friends faithful, and fridge is fully stocked. We want to thank you for downloading and listening to the show, and we ask you to please tell a friend about our show and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.